Has King Charles essentially abdicated the throne with this statement today? He has reworded and changed what his role is in regards to defending faith. Now, faith in the abstract may sound like whatever, but actually he's supposed to be the guardian of the Church of England, of the Protestant Reformation, which we'll talk about. And he took this vow during his inauguration, and therefore, if he is backtracking, should he still be there? That's firstly. And secondly, is he apostatizing by saying that he's now going to be a representative for every religion? Or is it every religion? Or is it multi-religion, so it's just Anglicanism and Islam? I don't know. We're going to talk about that today, as well as essentially what is it that makes a country a country. The king is now the defender of the multi-faith nation of Britain. Multi-faith. I think we're forgetting that religious freedoms, freedom of religion, is a thing to do with Christianity. It comes from us being denominationalists, right? And how do we then live together like that? It's not about, you can just have something, call it a religion, and therefore we have to accept it and defend it. In any case, side note, but the king is supposed to be the supreme leader or supreme guardian of the faith or something, supreme governor of the Church of England, which is just crazy to then say that you're a multi-faith nation. And is this apostasy from the Church of England to then become essentially what he's saying is, I am now the leader of these different faiths in this country? That's essentially what it sounds like to me. And so for you to say that, are you apostatizing the Anglican Church? It sounds like that to me. And secondly, are you then removing yourself from the throne? Because, for example, it says during his inauguration, the Archbishop of Canterbury says to him, will you, to the utmost of your power, maintain the laws of God and the true profession of the gospel? Will you, to the utmost of your power, maintain in the United Kingdom the Protestant Reformed religion established by law? Will you maintain and preserve inviolably the settlement of the Church of England and the doctrine, worship, discipline, and government thereof, as by law established in England? Therefore, he is supposed to be the guard of that faith. His position is supposed to be brought to us by God to preserve the faith in the country. So it completely makes no sense why you would then be a guardian of multiple faiths. And how can this even be allowed? First of all, to be an Anglican and be that guy, like a multi-faith guy. And secondly, to be the guardian of the faith and still then say this stuff. And I think it completely undermines this position, right? Which is, what is society? So I struggled with this. For example, I work from home, I've moved around a little bit, and I haven't had a proper community, right? But I never had a religion. But I was forced by working from home, by going to places that I don't know anyone, to figure out what's the commonality. These people are in a locale. What is the commonality, the common element, which brings us all together? And if we remove ourselves from this idea of the internet and new age and jobs and money and following all of these, idolatrous gods, you start to realize that actually human history is religious history. An interesting way to kind of enter into this idea for me was the Reformation, because I was a cradle Catholic. So for me to then come forth to the Reformation, what is Protestantism? How does that actually work? I'm still new to it, but it started to realize when I'm reading into the history that, wait, the human history is religious history. It's like the same thing, because religiosity is as much a part of human existence as being social with one another. And so then you have this problem that actually towns and villages and cities are the coming together of people, not necessarily like across a spread coming together, but like the developing of a place around a core belief system, which is the religion, the thing that transcends the current material being, right? And that's where, for example, cities now have become these like atheist hotspots because cities follow the god of money, right? And so then you have this problem where essentially the Church of England is a grouping of people who follow the Protestant Reformed tradition, and that is what this is. That's what the culture is. That's what the morals come from, whether you like it or not. I used to be the kind of guy where I'd watch Jordan Peterson and say, sure, yeah, there's a Judeo-Christian culture. And then I read Ben Shapiro's book about it, and I read like the first 10, 20 pages, and I was like, this sounds like a load of rubbish. But now I understand it, which is that we are intertwined. There is no way to pull Christianity away, because it would be like throwing away the entire law book and starting from scratch and being like, right, so what's a law? What's good? What's bad? What's the good age of consent? What's this? What's that? And it's like, it's all just moral subjectivism. So how's that combated? Well, we'll have the atheist side, which is like like essentially rooted in this problem of they have Christian moral values, but they just don't realize it. And then you have the other side, which is like Islam, and they'll have Islamic values, and then, you know, it's all this smash. So to then say that you're the head of this moral value system called Christianity, which is reflected in the community of the English, like Anglican Christianity, then you cannot become just the head of a multi-faith nation. You've essentially removed yourself from the throne as per this vow you take, firstly, and secondly, you have then apostatized in a sense because you're now a representative for Islam and for Judaism and for Sikhism as well as Anglicanism and Roman Catholicism as well. I don't know. I mean, it completely blows my mind. Let me know what you think in the comments below. I'm struggling with trying to comprehend this, partly as well because I am looking into Anglicanism, cradle Catholic, coming back to Christianity. Where do I go? My local church, Anglican Church, seems fine to me at the moment, whilst I look deeper into apostolicity and all this stuff, church fathers. This seems like a good place, but then it's like my, you know, diocese just ordained 4 female deacons, but it's supposed to be the beginning of their joining of the ministry to become ministers, etc., which I feel like is not scriptural based on my current understanding. Secondly, Archbishop of Canterbury, as a woman, she is the, you know, chief spiritual leader, clerical leader of the entire church. And thirdly, now we have a king who wants to represent Islam as well as Christianity. So it's a really hard pill to swallow. So let me know what you think in the comments below. Do you agree with what I'm saying? Am I wrong? I might be. That's totally fair. I can only speak from the information that I have right now, but I don't think a uncertainty as to how correct you are should stop you from speaking out and engaging in conversation. Anyway, like, comment, subscribe, and I'll see you in the next video.